What's up, guys? Welcome back to Gordo Gone Wild. Been a while, but here we are, back at it again. One of the things I've been hanging on for a while was season 50 of Survivor. Now, I know it was like a couple months ago. We got season 51 coming up, but I had to address how the season was, how the cast was, and what they could have done better and what maybe went pretty good. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm a Survivor mega fan. I started watching in 2017 when I got together with my wife, and she's like, hey, we just finished college. She's like, hey, we can watch season 34. It's all out except for the finale. Let's binge watch it and then watch the finale. And before that, I was like, Survivor's dumb. Like, I was in Scouts. I've been out in the woods. I've like built my own shelter. It's all fake. It's all TV. She's like, no, you're crazy. I had a different friend who's like, Gordo, it's not really about surviving. First off, the Survivor's part's real. Second off, it's all the social dynamics and getting voted out. Anyway, so dating this hot new girl that we just got together. So I'm like, all right, fine. Let's watch this season of Survivor. And we start watching season 34. Binge watch it in a day. Get up to the finale. And then watch the finale. Crazy. Season 34, Game Changers, had all returning cast. So then after we watched it, we got, what's it called? CBS All Access is what it used to be called. It's now Paramount Plus. Went back to season 1 and just started watching through every season. Season 1, Borneo. Season 2, Australian Outback. Season 3, Africa. Anyway, and then while new seasons were being released, we'd watch those in real time. Now, anyway, so how big of a fan am I? First off, I can tell you the name of every season between 1 and 50. Although 41 to 50 is easy because they just name it after the season it is. Like Survivor 41, 42. Whereas before 41, it was like 38 wasn't called 38. It was called Edge of Extinction. 37 was David vs. Goliath. On and on. So I can tell you who won that season and what the season theme was. For instance, season 24 was One World and Kim won. Season 19 was Samoa and Natalie White won. I can do this all day, baby, all day. So season 50, first returning season since COVID. They'd just done the same 3 tribes, 6 people per tribe format for seasons 41 to 49. It's fine. I feel like there's a few things about Survivor that's not great right now. One, it's in the exact same locations in Fiji every single time, which I get it. They do it to save money. They get a huge tax credit from the Fijian government, and it helps them cash flow the show, which is fine. But it's just like all the same. And then every season so far has been 3 tribes of 6 and minimal tribe swaps. Before season 41, it was like more random, like 2 tribes of 10, 3 tribes of 6. They did 2 tribes of 9, season 38. And then they would do more tribe swaps after a couple episodes, which is like mixed. Because some tribe swaps happen and they completely screw over the people who are running their tribes up to that point. Vice versa, some people who get extra life from a tribe swap who you want out. So it's mixed. But I think what they could do, I appreciate what they're doing to be like, hey, let's focus on the people. The crazy changes don't matter that much. But I think they could do, and what they did for season 50 was they had 24 people, 3 tribes of 8. First time they've had more than 20 people. First time they've had 3 tribes of 8. So it was a big deal, biggest cast ever. I think like for the last 9 seasons, 8 seasons, whatever, they could have had a bit more change, like 2 tribes of 10. It doesn't have to be the exact same every time, and you could do a bit more tribe swap before the merge. I think it would help keep it going, like keep the interest level high, because I think people are checking out from it's the exact same beaches, the challenges are the exact same locations. You can tell the pieces that are reused from challenges, that kind of stuff. I think some people get checked out. And then some of the casting has been different, where some of the recent casting has been kind of mid. Like Alicia and I, my wife and I, are watching 46, rewatching it, and because we've started at 41 and been rewatching the 40s. And a lot of these casts are super forgettable. A lot of these seasons are super forgettable. It's almost like they had a casting director shift after 38 or 39, and it's been a bit mid since then. 46 is the exception. 46 has an awesome cast, very memorable, very rememberable. Super awesome cast. The rest of the 40s, I can like go back and remember, but I was like, I was like, I remember who won 47. I don't remember anyone else who was in it. I had to Google it. And that's pretty abnormal for me. And then anyway, but then you get to 50, all returning cast, bigger cast. Certain things were bigger, like the tribal council location was really, really amazing. But the cast was kind of mid. They basically, the way that they did it, I don't know if it was intentional or not. I seriously doubt that this is the best cast we could come up with. Really what I think it was like, we want to capitalize on new viewers. We want to honor new viewers. We're going to highlight the 40s because half of the cast, I think, was from the 40s. And it just was like sporadic from 30, 20, 10s, zeros. What do you call the first 10 seasons? The ones? I don't know. Anyway, and just some of the cast was like hyper mid. Some of the cast was better than I anticipated. They had someone from season 1, Jenna. She was the first one voted out, which is fine. Like, I don't think she's necessarily anyone's like biggest like favorite player. And then who else? Like, there's just so many good people they missed. Like, they could have brought back Malcolm Freeberg from 25, 26, 34. He needs to have another season for sure. He was a big miss for someone they didn't bring back. Now, the thing is, too, we don't know who they contacted and didn't. There were a lot of people who didn't make the cut who said they were contacted and they were upset they didn't make it. Then there are some people who said they weren't contacted, which is odd because some people who haven't played since like season 8, Rob Sesternino from Rob Has a Podcast, said he was contacted early on and then just they let him know like, hey, you're not going to make it. And I don't know. I also don't really have a lot of empathy for people who've played, because here's the thing too. I don't really want to see someone who's played 4 or 5 times come back. Like, a lot of the players who've played multiple times are super mid and had really average or below average 3rd and 4th seasons. Rupert had an amazing season 1, and then his seasons 2 through 4 were pretty mid. Like, this exceptional character from season 7 when he started just wasn't there in the same realm. And then because they had season 40 was all previous winners, which I think is really exceptional. I don't think people highlight that enough for how crazy of a pull-off that is for a season. You have 39 winners and you bring back 20 of them to play again. Exceptional that they did that. That's a whole nother episode in itself, but I just think that fact is crazy. And then they just had people like from this season, Jonathan from 42. I cannot stand that guy. People are like, he's a challenge beast. He's hardly won any challenges. He had one challenge where the waves were crazy in the water and he was able to lift his tribe on his back and literally pull them along. Sure, the guy is like exceptionally upper body strong. Does not mean he's someone I want to see come back. And he's probably going to come back again because Jeff loves him. But man, I cannot stand that guy. Who else was in it? Like Charlie, who's also from 46. Like, and this is what happens too, is sometimes people play in a season and they're so excited. There's like all this new energy. They're like, wow, this is exceptional. I get to play on Survivor. And then they come back and they have a bit of ego. They have some unfinished business. And he was just like, and I'm sure there's stuff that they left out of the edit, but the whole time he was like, Maria didn't vote for me when I won my season to win. Maria didn't vote for me. Rizzo didn't vote for his number 1 to win. Like, just like this dark character where his first season, he's like kind of this like upbeat nerdy. He's like, hey, I'm this Taylor Swift fan who likes working with women. I'm just da-da-da. And this season he's like, Rizzo, I loathe Rizzo. I'm going to do everything for this season for me is going to be getting Rizzo out. And then he got dumped on by Rizzo. And Charlie's this huge Taylor Swift fan, and Rizzo launches Operation Bad Blood, which is a Taylor Swift song, and successfully gets him out. It's such a dunk on Charlie that it's like crazy. And that's the surprise too. Rizzo was in 49, and start of 49, I honestly couldn't stand him. I'm like, who's this Twitch streamer acting guy? He seems like he's just talking to the chat all the time. His name's Rizzo, and he calls himself Riz God. And he says, man, myth, legend, Rizgod, Riz God, baby. And I was like, ew, puke. I hate this guy. Why is he on the season? By the end of 49, you like love him. And I'm like, yeah, Rizzo. And he lost at fire making, which sucked. But they brought him back, and I was like, oh, we just saw him. They brought 2 people back from 49. I'm like, we just saw Rizzo. We just saw Savannah. Surely there's 2 people from way earlier. Again, Malcolm Freeberg he could have brought back. Having said that, Rizzo was unreal. And seeing Rizzo team up with people like Ozzy, seeing him team up with people like Suri was really fun. Really fun. And you kind of see, too, I will credit the 40s because of, I think, social media and because of how life works these days, people are more comfortable talking to the camera. They're better commentators. You get a bit of like, the crappy thing is you don't really get as much vulnerability. Like, I think people know how to chum it up for the camera. They know how to talk to a camera. Whereas season 1, Rudy, God bless Rudy, he's just this 72-year-old, Marine veteran who's just gonna talk like this to the camera, and Richard's a gay guy, but hey, I don't care, just don't talk to me about it. And you just get who Rudy is. Anyway, and Rizzo was a great cast. I was totally wrong, and this is where I feel like my default is to trust production. My default is to trust and be optimistic. So when the cast came out, I was like, oh, I don't love it. I'll let it run. I'll give it a chance though. And I was kind of right. Most of it was pretty average. I was so happy Coach was back. He kind of seemed like a try-hard. It was good. It was like good for the soul to see Coach. And at the same time, kind of a letdown. Just didn't quite hit the mark. Aubrey's back. Aubrey, I just find, is like pretty boring. Just kind of whiny and boring. And people are like, she should have won 32 Kaorong instead of Michelle. But I also believe that whoever wins is supposed to win. Like the jury determines their criteria for their vote, and they vote based on their personal criteria. And Boston Rob said this recently. He said, it's your job to manage that. Like, it's not just about getting to the end. It's managing the jury and who they're going to vote for and like making it work in your favor. I think that's easier said than done personally. I don't know how you do that, but I think anyway, so I'm not one of these people who's like, Aubrey should have won. I don't think she should have. I think Michelle winning was totally fine. And man, who else was there? Steph from seasons 10, 11, and 20. She's like such a great character again from season 10. Season 11, she comes back and you're like, because in season 10, she's kind of this like underdog. Her whole tribe gets voted out. She's the last one remaining. She gets absorbed by the other tribe. That's never happened before to that extent. And anyway, she's such this underdog from season 10. And then season 11, she comes back. And because sometimes players come back, like Rizzo, 49-50, filmed back-to-back in the same summer. So the returning players never saw his original season. I also don't like that. That should be a hard rule. You don't bring people back. I don't know why they do that. I don't think that's fair. But when Steph played 10-11, because the even season is the last one filmed, so she filmed one summer, her show came out, and then she was cast the following season. So people had at least seen part of her season and knew who she was. And she was such a early dominant character in season 10 that probably the whole cast had seen her. Anyway, and that gave her a leg up where it seemed like she was like this really strong figurehead and directing stuff that happened in season 11 and just wasn't as refreshing of a person to watch. And you kind of saw it this season 2, and then and then there's Chrissy from 35. I was like kind of fine they brought her back. Like, she, again, arguably should have won in the same realm as Aubrey her season. And she was just so mid. Just like, I was like, you've been waiting 10 years, 12 years. When did 35 come out? 2018? Yeah, 8 years to come back. And this is the character you want to portray. This is like the game you want to play of like being the mom and just like defaulting to the other older players. Like, this is so socially inept almost. I was pretty shocked because I was open-minded. People were like, why Chrissy? But I was like, hey, she almost won 35. I think she deserves another shot. And I feel like she like just punted it away. It was very mid. But then you have people like Q, and Q was voted out really early, I think episode 2 or 3. And it's just such a shame. He's such a big character. In 46, you see it. I'm pointing at my TV over my shoulder. You see him in 46, such a big character. So many great lines. So wonderful. Voted out too early. And you can't, at the end of the day, you can't, it is what it is. Like, I could say he was voted out too early. And when I say that, I don't think that Hugh was like wronged in any way. But I think as a viewer, it would have been a better experience to watch him more often than Chrissy, or even Steph. Steph was like particularly boring. But then you had Colby from season 2, this like all-American guy, Colby Donaldson. He was kind of fun to watch, and he had like pretty good commentary for the camera. Voted out semi-early, but fun to see him back. Last time probably we'll ever see him. And I appreciate they did that. But that's the thing, like you brought back Colby. You could have brought back several people. And I want to see Russell Hantz back. I'm sorry. I want to see him back. He should have played at least one more time. They shouldn't have cast him in 22 when he just played 19 and 20. We want to see this like evil character come back. He should have been there. Man, I don't know who else. I don't really have a long list. Rob Sesternino for sure, especially what he's done for the reality TV community, like running his podcast for the last 10 or 15 years. I think huge miss not having him there. But then having Suri, like you could argue, I think people were like, Suri's had her chance, whatever. But the crazy thing about Suri, comes back, everyone knows how good she is, everyone knows how dangerous she is, and she gets dangerously far. And the thing too, and this is where I think what sucked with 50 as well. So you had casting problems, and you had twist problems. Like you had, they had 15 people left in the game. 2 of them randomly get to Exile Island, which, by the way, this amazing moment that Ozzy, they're all looking for this advantage. Ozzy finds it, and he's like, man, imagine if I have to go to Exile. That'd be so funny. Opens it. You have to go to Exile. Like, there's certain things in Survivor that you just cannot, that you couldn't make up, that you couldn't write into a show because it'd be too cheesy, and it actually happens. And so they're left with 15. They go to a challenge, and they're randomly divided into 5 tribes. Tribes of 5, and 1 person from each gets to win immunity, and then that 5 goes and votes. And that's the thing, is it's like there's these dynamics, like Survivor's about creating your own civilization and your own culture, and you get to vote out based on how it develops. But then sometimes the twists, like it's almost like you get into a car crash, you like stop instantly, and it's like whiplash. And it's like, oh, we just had all these dynamics developing, and now you forced random one-offs. And I guess you could say you kind of get them to run around like chickens with their heads cut off, but you kind of want to see the momentum build naturally. And when you merge them early at 17 players, cool that you did that, but you break them into 5 randoms. Like, I feel like you might as well just had kept them as individual tribes, and then you just run the challenge the same and let them just vote as individual tribes. Probably would have made more sense. But whatever, there's that twist, and then the twist later where they split the group after the merge. Jonathan wins immunity. And man, I get so sick of that guy because he acts like he should win immunity every time, and he's a giant baby when he doesn't win, and he's a giant baby when he does win. Like, he won one later, and he started doing the worm and slamming his fist, which I'm like, fine. I'm like, you're stoked, that's fine. I don't understand why people are cringy when they're stoked about stuff, unless you're just hamming it up for the camera. But that's the thing, is he's just too cringe. And then, you have Ozzy and Suri separated, and they were each other's like number ones. And just like seeing Jonathan just act like he's the top dog. I feel like there's kind of a difference between being the top dog and acting like you're the top dog. Does that make sense? Like, when you're the top dog, you just are. You don't have to try and pretend and do things. You just are. And he was kind of like always pretending or trying to be the big dog and wasn't quite there. Anyway, but that was another example where, and actually that opened the door for Aubrey, because Aubrey took the information given to her by Ozzy, leveraged it and got him voted out. And that was probably her starting path to, spoiler alert, winning the season. And you know what? Let's fast forward to the end. You have Joe. Again, Joe seems like a great guy, super average mid. Like, he should have been done after 48. Let's keep him in 48. Let's keep that moment with, I'm blanking on her name, Eva, where he crosses to the tribe, gives her a hug when she's like having her struggle in the moment. Joe should have just stayed in 48 because he's not a particularly compelling Survivor player to watch. He was in 48, but I think like we wrung out that towel in 48. We didn't need to see him again in 50. Conversely, and people didn't like this, they brought back people like Dee and Kyle who had won previously. I'm okay with that as long as they're going to be good to watch. Like, don't cast them for any particular reason. Don't cast them because you need a winner in it. But considering there's so many people who have not won and want the chance to win, kind of a mid decision when you bring back winners. But I think like two of the best winners in the 40s that should have come for sure. Kyle is just such a great, masterful, like social person to watch and great commentator, and so is D2. And you had this great moment where D and Jonathan are losing it on each other, and Jonathan's like, oh, I meant to do that. Oh, I don't think he did. He gets rattled too easy. D obviously gets hot-headed, but Jonathan's too rattled too easily to... He's not this puppet master he thinks he is. I don't think. Anyway, but that's fine. They brought them back. And same with Camilla. Like, it's like, yeah, let's give Camilla another chance. Both Camilla and Kyle had unfortunate exits. Kyle obliterating his Achilles. Camilla, I think she was a casualty of the blood moon. And that was the thing too. It's kind of fine you want to do twists. You don't have to say blood moon a million times. And some people don't like some of the things that they try in these seasons, like blood moon, and they have all this like animation and edited video to go over it, or Jeff doing this rap before a challenge. Like, that's one place that my wife and I kind of differ, where she's like, this is getting too cringy, I don't like this. But I'm like, no, like, let's lean it, like let's experiment. Don't experiment every single season, but do it every once in a while. Like, you had Jeff participating in a challenge where they have to hold their, a quarter of their body weight on this rung. I was like, yeah, we all have wanted to see Jeff participate more, do more. Some people are like, he should play the game. I don't think that. He said he shouldn't do it. But like, yeah, participate in challenge. And it's like, hey, if you beat me, here's the stakes. If you don't, here's the other stakes. What would you call that? Repercussions? But I thought that was so fun. That was so fun having him participate in a challenge like that. And definitely should do that more in the future. Yeah, overall, with 50, A for effort, C+ of a season. There's better casting they could have done. The tribal council setting was really amazingly done. So you had better casting. You had twists could have been done better to preserve the integrity of what game is being played. Oh, yeah, and then you have Rick Devens, Christian. Man, Rick Devens, again, so fun to watch. What a character to watch. Again, but I don't know if this is going to be his default. Kind of like just isolates everyone. Like, he's like, and what did he say? He said at one point, I really like this. He said, when I'm happy or joyful, I'm either going to make a good decision or a fun, bad decision. And I really appreciate, I think there's times where maybe like, you can't fake it. Like, it is good to be honest about where you're at. But I think something I really like about Rick is just like, hey, I'm going to make the most of the situation. Because there's times I think returning players kind of feel they deserve more, or they feel like they can like bully other people for some reason. And Rick is just like happy-go-lucky. Maybe, I'm trying to think if I've seen him bully people. I don't think so. I think he's just like happy-go-lucky. I'm going to throw everything at the wall, see what sticks. Both times it's kind of alienated him from the overall tribe. But I think both times too, in Edge of Extinction, he came back mid-game playing with house money. Even this one, he was going to get voted out when they paired them off, and then a pair was getting voted out. Oh man, the Christian twist. Anyway, and he kind of like with the fake idol saved him, and Aubrey, I think, right? Yeah, I think him and Aubrey. But then and people were like mad about how showy he was. I thought it was awesome. Like, I don't mind. Again, there's a difference between being the big dog and pretending to and trying to be the big dog. Rick's kind of the big dog, man. Like, you can't take that away from him, man. And Christian, what an awful twist. You lose this journey challenge, and now you have to go and tell everyone you're voting for yourself and vote for yourself. Like, if you make him vote, but because there's a part of the game is outwitting, and that challenge just totally took it away. Like, leave the challenge, leave that twist that he has to vote for himself, but he doesn't have to tell everyone, or reverse. He tells everyone he's voting for himself, but he can actually vote for whoever he wants. I think, like, doing those both things together, you just like, Jimmy Fallon just picked who was going home, basically, that episode. Kind of made it more about Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, and then another thing too, celebrity integrations. Celebrities coming in person, I thought was really fun. Zach Brown, maybe a bit too long of a like a montage of him spearfishing and singing a song, but he's there in person. Mr. Beast, there in person. I thought that's really fun. I think you could integrate celebrities a bit more than they do. I think you could integrate returning players more. In season 34, Debbie won a challenge. No, she lost. No, something happened and she had to go on a journey, I think. Something like that. Or exile. She's going to exile. That's what it was. And she goes to this yacht in the middle of the ocean. And she's like, whoa. And she gets all this food. She's like, oh, what an awesome exile. And then John Cochran, winner from 26, shows up and has like a coaching session with her. I don't know if a coaching session mid-game is going to really help anyone change their games or like win the game when they weren't going to. But if you're not going to have someone come back, like John Cochran didn't come back for season 40, Winners at War, a lot of us wanted him to, and he wasn't into it. And you're probably not going to have a lot of people come back and play, which is fine. But I think you could integrate them in one-off episodes. And same with celebrities. And the difference is, don't write them in. Don't be the Billie Eilish boomerang idol with a letter. Hey, this is Billie, whatever. And because rumors are she doesn't even like the show. She didn't even watch it afterwards. She's like, it was like her press team. Had to do with press. Didn't have anything to do with her being a fan. I think there's way better ways. There's ways that they integrated well and integrated poorly. And they should note that in the future. Like, you could have one celebrity integration every season. I don't know, something like that. Maybe you don't want to be said, I guess. But yeah, so C+, so like, it was kind of like everything, like when you categorize everything they did, casting. Some of it great, some of it crappy. Format, and you could include twists. Some of it good, some of it crappy. Celebrity integrations. Some of it good, some of it crappy. So that's why it kind of gets a C+. Like, it's kind of probably going to go down as like a mid-ranked season. There's a lot that are way better than it, and there's lots that are worse than it too. I think what I will take, and I think what I appreciate, because in the 30s you had so many returning seasons. Season 1, full of returnees. Season 34, full of returnees. Season 38, 4 returnees, and rest are new players. Season 40, all returnees. So was that like, that average is like every other season you have returning players? I think they don't need to go from 41 to 49 without returnees, minus Bruce. You could probably, maybe like every 5 seasons or something. I think we don't need to be every other season. I think there's something about Survivor being all new players that is kind of the integrity and the heart of the show, but you could integrate it more often than you have. I think going from 41 to 49 with none, because this is what they should have done. You should have gone like in the 40s, probably 45, 46, have a returning season of people from the 40s, or maybe 50, because, well, they want it to be 50 seasons. The thing is, I don't think you can, because like 40 was this big celebratory season of the show, and you brought back all winners. I don't think every 10 seasons has to be, which season 30 wasn't for some reason. It was just like worlds apart, super mid-season, really average, below average. But then 40, they're like, hurrah, let's celebrate Survivor. 50, they're like, hurrah, let's celebrate Survivor. It's just like random. I don't think any of us cared that much. Like, they could have probably maybe around 48 returnee season of the 40s, and then Or you can do back-to-back. I would have been okay with that. 49 returnees of the 40s. Get a bunch of people back who want to play, who have only played once, you haven't had any returnees from them. Get them out of the way, do 18 players, whatever. And then season 50, balance it way better. Like 6 from the 40s, 6 from the 30s, 6 from the 20s, there's 5 decades of Survivor. So how do you divide that amongst 24? 6 is too many. 5? Yeah, and then you just do 4. Yeah. Do 4 from the 40s and then 5, 5, 5, 5 or something like that. I don't know. And it doesn't have to be totally balanced either. I think there's a lot of us that wanted more older players to come back that should have been back. That's all. And so we'll see. I hope it's not like just on the 10th seasons. Like we gotta wait till season 60 for a returning season. Do it more often. Just don't do as often as the 30s. That's what I think. And I think you could limit advantages to, like, they've tried so many. They've never brought back the immunity idol nullifier after an amazing play in 37. I think, and having like conditional or random idols is like a mid-choice too. I think you should have regular idols to give people a chance to not get voted out. And you have shot in the dark, which is like a lot, having both of those. And I think you just have like maybe extra vote or steal a vote. Steal a vote's never really been done well. I think steal a vote should be secret. I think when you're going to tribal, you're like, hey, I want to steal this person's vote. Because you can play extra vote secret. I think steal a vote should be secret too. Being like, hey, I declare I'm going to take his vote, has too many implications on the vote in the moment. So I think you could still have advantages, just limit them a bit, and have we don't need new ones all the time. And then I think, but then what they say, season 51, everything's back in play. Because what was the new era? Open era. So apparently like everything's fair game. I don't know what that means. Are they going to bring back challenges? No one really knows what that means. Whatever, but I'm also here for it. Like the thing is, it's been on for 50 seasons. You have this culture and this ethos that you have to honor and maintain, which what I respect about Survivor, it's always been about surviving in these like rural places and about voting out people. And they've never changed that format with the exception of like advantages, restricting with idols, who can be voted for or not. Like the core has still been there, and I think you have to maintain that. It's been 50 seasons. You have to try new things. You have to try new things and see what fits to keep the game going, keep it fresh. I don't think any of us wants to see this like suffocate and die out. We want to see it, if it's going to continue, just continue really well, really intentionally. I think that's all we want to see. So that's Gordo's take. Next time, cast better. Watch the twists, bro. Watch the twists. And what else did I say? Cast better, watch the twists. And then, whatever. Freaking it's Survivor. I'll keep watching every single season. I'm here for it. So that's my take. Season 50. Paramount Plus, you can watch all the seasons in Canada now, which you couldn't for some reason. It's like, I don't know why. Like, why'd they restrict it? Not have the rights here, but no one else have the rights. So you can watch all the seasons. It's long. It's like, between 12 and 16 episodes a season. But pretty fun too. And I think what's cool too, what I love watching, and Leisha's always like, can we skip the intro? I'm like, no, I love the intro. I love the music. There was a few seasons they took it away and fans would create their own intros. And the show was just like, fine, we'll give you... they're like, CBS gave them an extended slot. So every episode is 90 minutes instead of 60. And they're like, all right. We'll give you the intro. Here's the intro back. And what's just so fun is when you watch, there's like super cuts on YouTube of all the intros back to back. And you get to see like, it's like what editing was like in the year 2000. And they have, I can't even describe it, but it's like very nostalgic. Even if you didn't watch Survivor, it's nostalgic from like someone who grew up in that era. It's very fun. So anyway, so I guess you just watch, you could just watch that on YouTube instead of spending time watching all the seasons. But it's fun watching seasons too. So there you go. That's my take. Love you guys. Catch you next time. Peace.